I wish I could time travel back to 1992, 1993 and tell myself, because there were a couple of comic shops in my hometown that would open, they'd stay open for like 6 months and then they'd shut down. Someone else would try and they'd shut down. So whenever there were comic shops, I'd always make sure to dive in there and grab as much as I could. But I wish I could go back and say, dude, grab these 2099s. You're gonna enjoy it. I hate now, umpteen years later, I'm now coming to it and realizing how awesome what they were trying to do. But I guess better late than never. This is Doom 2099, issue 1 from January 1993, according to the, what do you call it, print date. And I just love how they set the scene here. Now, if I get the names wrong, feel free to make fun of me down in the comments. Antkiva, Bilago, Latavria. Once this marketplace was different, a gathering community and prosperity in a fairy tale kingdom. Now citizens overextend their credit for spoiled synth foods, designer drugs, and pirated Russo VR. Here the black market is the only market. And so we see that there's a broker going between two people in this black market for information. And of course it's starting to go south, but then all of a sudden we see, attention, you are under arrest for illegal transfer and sale of government information. And so we see that this is not the Latavria we know from the 616 universe. These are the guardsmen. Do not move. Resistance will be met with preemptive force. So these two characters, Wire and I forget the other guy's name, but they split as quick as they can. And it says, we're just loose ends to them, huh? I'm going to try to lose that crowd sweeper in the castle ruins before we become dead ends. I knew I should have charged the battery this morning. And so as we see the guardsmen closing in on them, in a blink of an eye, look out! So much pain, but finally have returned. My castle destroyed. What's happened here? How long have I been away? Attention, you are an unauthorized presence interfering with official guardsman business. Identify yourself immediately. You dare threaten me? I'm not laughing for the writer, but it's just one of those intrusive thoughts where I just think of Cornholio, where he's like, are you threatening me? I need to TP for my bunghole. So it just kind of popped in my head, but Doom being serious, you dare threaten me. Don't you know who I am? I love the artwork as they reintroduce Doom into this future. I am Doom. And just in the blink of an eye, we see him destroy these guardsmen. Now, this is John Francis Moore, the writer, Pat Broderick doing the arts, John Costanza letterer, Christy Steele colorist, Joey Cavallari editor, and Tom DeFalco editor-in-chief. So a pretty big name on this book to show that the original Victor Von Doom is now in this, what do you call it, dystopian future. They say, whoever that guy is, I hope he knows we weren't the ones with the guardsmen. Calm yourselves. I do not battle children. I only want words with you. And so they tell him it's the year 2099, and he goes, much later than I expected. Can it be I've been forgotten in my own lands? And so they essentially say that Doom is a fairy tale now, and that this Tiger Wilde is the one that runs Latavria with an iron fist. And it even says here, it goes, okay, again, Gojradia, Latavia's capital, once the promise of modernity to a backward nation, now simply the industrialist game board for the intrigues of its current sovereign. And again, I love how they quickly made sure to wrap this world together. Spider-Man, Doom, Ravage, all of them, because we see that this Tiger Wilde is an ex-alchemist employee, and he goes, nice try sending your assassin, but it didn't work. My dear Tiger Wilde, officially Alchemex denies any connection to the alleged assassin. Your long ago departure is of little concern to the firm. And you just see how threatening this dude looks. If Alchemex wants war, I'll gladly oblige. And while all this is happening, Doom enters. Now, there's a character, almost forgot. I think her name's Tarot. Hold on a second. What was it? Fortune. Her name's Fortune. She uses a tarot deck to kind of read his future for him. And he's like, and this one dude's just like, do you place faith in her superstition? You fail to see that beneath the rational lies the intuitive. The judgment, a change in position, a shift in power. We're nearing a crisis point. And while that happens, boom, we see Doom enter this man's stronghold. Do not make me waste any more energy on dog soldiers. I am Victor Von Doom. I demand to see Tiger Wild. Another Doom robot. Should I take care of this one? And so they all think it's one of his Doom bots. He's like, no, this little diversion should prove interesting. And then Fortune, the hangman. Danger. By certain, I am no robot. And so he says, if you are Doom, you have a very long absence to explain. And he thinks and he goes, memories of pain, ending and unyielding. Only remember the pain. Where I've been is not an issue. You may leave Lortavia with no fear of reproach, but it is mine. And so he goes to attack Tiger Wild. And remember, Doom can be full of himself, hence why he's always thwarted by Reed. Because your reflexes are faster than I expected, but I tire of this nostalgia. You are a ghost of the past. Systems didn't absorb shock. Power reserves down. Didn't anticipate cyborg. I've built an empire on the corpses of those who underestimated me. Count yourself among them. And at this point, Doom's face is healed. And he's talking about how his circuitry is antiquated. So they go, you're not the Doom. You're too young. And far too pristine. History says Doom's face was always hideously scarred. Allow me to complete the masquerade. Now he does, of course, escape. But I essentially love how issue 1 shows the Doom that we know. Overconfident. And it costs him. So he has to rebuild himself and how to retake Latavria. He finds that there's a connection to his past in this gypsy camp, which are they're kind of like the outcasts of this new dystopian future. And Doom realizes that he has to change with the times. He is not the Doom that fought the Fantastic Four. And I just love how he does everything that he can to become something different. He says Dr. Doom is different. And we see in this issue that a new type of Doom is born. Excellent read, guys. Hell of a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. I'm going to try to hunt down issue 1. I found this at a garage sale, so I made sure to grab it as quick as I could. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is you like to get your action figures and comics, and grab this book and this series or the collected trade, however you want to read it. And if you've enjoyed this review, really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you want to hit that fancy little Doombot bell next, subscribe. That way, as I continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel. I love talking with you all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.